We'll have that recorded in the minutes. All right, so the purpose, members of council.
Your worship,
Yep.
as I may, for a point of order, Councillor Jobin can be present in the meeting. She just cannot participate in any of the discussions and voting.
Okay, bring her back.
Hey, she's back.
Okay. All right, the purpose of the meeting is to hear from an affected owner who wishes to appear his or her assessment or appeal his or her assessment or any part thereof and set out by the drainage report prepared by Josh Warner, professional engineer from R. Dobbin Engineering, Inc., dated June 1st, 2020. And if there's anything, Mr. Paglia, if you want to weigh in at this stage, or anything you want to add to it?
Thank you. Good evening. Thank you, Your Worship. Through you, we had 3 correspondence take place since the notices went out for this quarter revision. Excuse me. One from the species at risk, just your standard response indicating that they will not attend the quarter revisions and all of the regulatory approvals must be in place. We have that mitigation plan in place at the town. We got a response from IRCA on April the 6th, and they have no issues with the report based on their comments from February 23rd. And had a lengthy discussion with a landowner regarding culverts 4 and 5. The discussion was basically the culverts went in outside of the Drainage Act, if I understand correctly, and now they need to be lowered. And there was issue with that, but we had a lengthy conversation, and for what I understand, he understands correctly where the Drainage Act applies in this case. And he would have been responsible to produce a drainage report back when those culverts went in, so that savings doesn't necessarily turn into financial gain on his behalf. So we discussed that, and that was it. So no other landowners have any concerns to my knowledge.
Okay, so on the landowner of concern that on the culverts had to be lowered, that's all squared away now?
I believe so, yes. Josh, if you could expand on that, I believe you had some discussion with this landowner as well.
Yeah, so the 2 culverts in question were actually replaced under the Drainage Act, and I believe I spoke a little bit to this at the meeting to consider. So they were installed too high for the grade line of the channel. But as I said, they went through the proper procedures of the Drainage Act, and therefore I didn't think that those landowners particularly should pay for the whole cost. They'd be assessed to the watershed as a whole, rather than to an individual landowner who wasn't necessarily responsible for installing the culverts.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Any questions, members of the quarter revision? None there. Then if there's no further questions or comments, then there are 3 items of communications. We know there's a bylaw for this evening to be struck. So if I could have a motion then to that communications 1 through 3 listed on the Tuesday, April 14th, 2021 quarter revision agenda be received. Councillor Dowie and Councillor Houston. No further questions or comments. All in favor? Opposed, if any, that's carried. No further questions. No further comments. Adjournment's in order. Councillor Houston, Deputy Mayor Bichetti. All in favor? If any, that's carried. This meeting is now adjourned. Thank you, Josh and Sam. Thank you very much.
Thank you.